Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be using this fabulous creation, Suziko microwave flower press. So excited to use it. I've been doing my pressing just in the microwave using paper and just like a casserole dish to put on the top to weight it down. But this is exciting because it's actually a full kit. And you can see here what's inside. Looks like a pair of tweezers, bars there, I'm not sure what they're for. A pair of scissors, not sure what that is, some kind of labeling maybe. A manual, the actual press. So you just basically take off these parts on the edges, so it's nice and quick and easy. And then when you take the top off, there are several layers. So there's a blotting layer, and then some lovely squishy layers. Have a little look. So this is actually felt, so it's not as squishy as I thought it would be. And then of course you've got two of these, so it's just a matter of layering them on the bottom plate and sandwiching them together. There's another two pieces here, so perspex pieces as well. So let's prepare one of the plates. So of course we put this side down. Then we add a lovely felt pad and then one of the blotting papers. I believe these could be washed. Then of course we need to work out how we're going to flatten each of these. I'm going to snip one off and actually lie it down flat to see if it's going to splay out. And a good way to do that is to just take off the bottom, face down. This one I'm going to trim a little and just put that sideways. These little camellias, I'm going to just trim off that little bud to make it a little flatter and put that one face down. Of course we want to make sure we don't go too close to the edge because they will floof out once they're pushed down on. This one I might try it flattened actually. I might get this lovely thing and give that a good chop. I don't know if this is going to work. Get face down. Ooh, I think I've gone too deep. Oh well, this is experimenting. This press is new to me. So this is a little bit of experimentation. Oh well, who knows, it may come out really cool. And then maybe this one I won't go quite so deep. We'll just see what happens. Then I'm going to lie these ones face down as well. And with this one I'm going to actually leave the leaves on. I will need to trim it. Trim the stem here. And then just lie them on top. This one I might actually try at an angle like that. And then these smaller ones I'm going to lie flat. And the little buds, I'll pop them up in the corner here, one on its side. And then this one, again I might try face down. I'm going to try these things. Actually it might be good to try to fit this other one in. And I'm going to remove couple of these, this one here. When you're starting to get layers this way, you want to try to get a singular layer. Like here we've now got a singular layer, so we can lie that out. And then we could perhaps try trimming this one, lying that face down, and then this one perhaps on its side. Okay, I'm just going to tidy up my plate a little bit. And then next we add the second piece of cloth over the top, then the felt pad, then the top of the Suziko, and we slide on. These are, I think, a set size which forces you not to overload the press. Seems I might have overloaded the plate a bit in terms of thickness because these are struggling to go on. They're popping off. Okay. Now it does say to do this on low heat for like 1 or 2 minutes, but that worries me. I would rather do whatever heat your microwave is at. This is just trial and error. It's something we have to experiment with. Of course, each plant is going to be different too. This would be a whole other kettle of fish than those softer blossoms. I might actually do a minute and then we'll see what happens. I decided to do 40 seconds because I was a little bit worried about those smaller blossoms. So let's have a little look. Oh, it's very, very warm. Oh, look at that. You can see the moisture that's seeped out already. peek. Goodness. Wow. Oh. Wow. Of course, this thing's fallen apart, but we knew that would happen, didn't we? That's a live and learn moment. Quite a lot of moisture in it, that thing. Let's keep peeling. Oh, look here. Wow. You can see the amount of moisture in these little white blossoms too. It's just stuck to the fabric. I think this one we can... I mean, listen, the actual petals themselves could be used in part of your designs. These are well done and cooked, so obviously they have had too much time, those little tiny white blossoms. So that's just, you know, live and learn in terms of putting similar blossoms together rather than a mismatch of blossoms. You can see here with this camellia how thin it is. Colour has retained beautifully, but it's still quite moist, really quite juicy still. So they're going to need more time. This thing has come up beautifully. Look at this, just gorgeous. And again, it's quite moist, so that could have more time. This tiny little thing, it's retained its colour gorgeously. That's an elytra and it's very thin, but as you can see, it still has some moisture because it's not quite dry. So I'm going to go back in for a little more with that. The leaves, of course, take a lot longer than the blossoms. So this is why it's probably good if you want to assemble them later, like do the leaves and the blossoms separately. And I might just try to remove this very gently. There we go. Oop. It's quite sticky. It needs a little bit more drying out. Look how gorgeously that has pressed. And the leaves are still full of moisture. Plus you can see the leaf is actually stuck to the petal. If I'm very gentle, I could peel it away. But of course you risk damaging your beautifully pressed blossom. Just coming away nicely. I think if I had let this cool, it would have been a disaster, but because it's still warm, so I just might remove these. And I will give these leaves another burst on their own without the blossoms. This is actually done pretty well, kept its colour quite well, has gone a little brown. This one's done better. Not quite flat though. And then this lovely is absolutely beautiful. Look how gorgeously that's pressed. But again, the petals, no, looks like it's going to work. Oh, beautiful. That is just gorgeous. Look how thin. And still a bit of moisture in the stem. So what I'm going to do is give this whole plate, because the white ones, the elytrias, have actually retained the colour pretty well. I do think they will darken in this next round, but I'm just going to give everything 20 seconds. I might remove those little darlings because they're going to fry. And this little blossom here is doing okay as well. I think maybe with very delicate petals like this, it's a good idea to lift them between bursts so that they don't completely stick to the fabric or to each other, as you can see here. And again, these are still quite warm, so they're separating pretty well. Let's just turn that over. Look how divine. Oh, it's just breathtaking. Superb colour. Okay, let's pop this back in for another wee burst. Okay, 20 seconds. Now, I ended up giving it 40 seconds with a 10-second break in between, just because I knew that there was still quite a lot of moisture. I am also using a flatbed inverter convection microwave, so your results may differ. You can see that quite a lot of steam and moisture comes off. So just airing those plates. You can see more moisture has come off here. Oh, they're just divine. I would probably separate them in terms of the actual type of plant, because you can see that this white one is starting to colour a little bit, which is, it's still beautiful, but you wouldn't want it to go in again. And this is when you could probably just end up putting them under some paper just to get that extra little bit of moisture out and not heat them again. Other plants you can heat and heat, like I think these you could just keep heating. This still has moisture in the centre. It's nice and flat, it's very pretty. And then this, look, the colour still hasn't changed with that elytra. I'm not sure why. I think because the petals themselves and the elytra are quite fleshy. They're not super fine like some of these other ones. Look at this little darling. Utterly superb. And I will leave these now to dry for a while and see how they fare after a day just lying flat. And then if I want them to lose more moisture, I might actually just press them the traditional way for a while, because I don't want to lose any more of that superb colour. So tell me what you think. That was a lot of fun trying it out. I'm going to do a heap more, and let me know your experience and whether you prefer the old method or you're willing to give this a try, because it is just so much faster and it brings so much joy. I'll see you again soon.